Alright, so last time we did some questions in part 5 already, right? And we stop at question number 31, correct? Alright, now to do that, Sab, you can start by reading number 31. Finished 31 already? So now let's move on to number 32, right? Okay, read that.
The oil that is removed from the wool is widely used in products like hand cream.
Yes, the oil that is removed from the wool is widely used in products like hand creams. Now, why do we need to use removed and not carried, passed, or divided? Yes, that's just the meaning, right? Because here they say that, so before the wool is used, it must be cleaned. And the simplest way to do this is by putting the wool in warm water, the oil that is removed. So they need to clean the wool, right? So the oil that is removed from the wool is widely used in products like hand creams. Got it? Yeah, so that's just the meaning, right? Number 33, Hồng.
Sheep are first used by humans several thousand years ago, but it is believed that it was from meat
Yeah, just read 34 as well.
rather than wool.
Yes, sheep were first used by humans several thousand years ago, but it is believed that this was for meat rather than wool, right? So number 33, the answer is but. Why is that?
It's about a meaning.
Yeah, that's just the meaning, right? But it is believed that. So it was like sheep were first used by humans several thousand years ago, but it is believed that something like that. So it's the kind of opposite meaning, right? Opposite idea. So that's why we need to use but there and not why or because, right? Okay, now number 34, Kick. Why do we need to use rather here?
Because the meaning and is comparing.
Yeah, this kind of comparison, right? And that is the meaning as well. So that it was for meat rather than wool. So rather than wool, they go together, right? This one rather than the other one. We don't say instead because instead goes with of, not than, right? Apart from, we don't say apart than, right? Except, right? Number 33 you use because. Yeah, if you put because there, it doesn't make any sense, right? Sheep were first used by humans several thousand years ago because it is believed that it was for meat rather than wool. Right? No. That means, if you change, if you don't use but, if you don't use but, then the meaning will change. If you don't use but, the meaning will change. Sheep were first used by humans several thousand years ago because they believed that this was for meat rather than wool. If we use because, that means that the sheep were used for what? For meat. Okay? Okay, now go on. It's just the meaning. Now number 34 rather than go together. Now 35. Okay, just read the sentence.
When people developed the way of cutting the wool from sheep, it became a more important material.
Yes, when people developed a way of cutting the wool from sheep, it became a more important material. Yes. So number 35, why do we need to use became and not arrived, turned, grew?
Because it's just meaning.
Yeah, it's just a meaning, right? So this one is all about meaning, right?
Yeah.
Not so many questions with grammatical points here. So as long as you understand the meanings of all the words here, or or most of the words here, you can do just fine. Okay? So when people develop, yeah. it became a more important material. Did anyone choose anything else? No? Okay. Now let's just the meaning. All right. Now let's move on to writing. Yeah? Writing. So in this part, you just need to read the sentence first, or you can read all the sentences first, and then you have to come up, or you have to think about some words, some suitable words which can be used to fill in the blanks here, right? So first of all, for the example, you just read this. Okay, Win, go.
Ben started cooking, so he needed to buy a new one. Ben needed to buy a car because his old one started cooking.
Yes, Ben's own car stopped working, so he needed to buy a new one. And then we need to rewrite that. We say Ben needed to buy a new car. Why is that? Because his own one stopped working. Makes sense, right? Makes sense. All right, number 1, V. Yes, his friend Frida suggested that Ben should buy a second-hand car. So this is suggestion, right? So we need to say what? Yes, why don't you buy a second-hand car? Ben suggested Frida. Suggested, not suggested, ok? Cố gắng phát âm cho đúng vô, các bạn phát âm linh ta linh tinh nghe rất là kỳ luôn. You understand? Yeah, this is just a question. And do you see the quote? Do you see the quotes there?
Yes.
Yeah, so that means that we just kind of repeat exactly the same sentence as what Frida said. Okay, so that's why we have to put a quote. Why don't you buy a second-hand car, Ben? So that's the sentence that Frida just talked to her friend, his friend. Okay. All right. Now number 2. Did anyone use anything else? Why don't? Yeah, you missed something. You cannot just say why don't a second-hand car. Okay?
I just say why didn't you buy?
Oh, you said like why didn't you buy a second-hand car, right? So you use didn't and you don't use don't, right? Okay, why that is wrong? Why can't we say why didn't you buy a second-hand car, Ben?
Because they didn't buy any car.
Because the word suggested had a D.
It was suggested has a D?
And we had to use don't here.
No. Actually, I have just explained that to you already. Do you know why?
Should.
No. I have just explained that to you guys already. Do you know why? Again, do you see the quote there? I mean, it's just exactly the same sentence as Frida said directly to his friend. Kind of repeat his question. Like when you face to face, you talk face to face with a person, you just say, hey, why don't you buy a car? And we just keep that same sentence and you put it here in a quote. You understand? So we don't change anything. So that means we don't need to change the tense as well. Okay? And actually, did Ben buy a car? No. He didn't buy a car yet. Why do you know? Why do you know? Because when you look at the sample answer, they say his friend Frida suggested that Ben should buy. Ben should buy. I mean, that is the suggestion, and that is the simple present tense. Okay? They are talking together directly like that. So that means that Ben didn't buy any car yet. Okay? Alright, number 2. Quỳnh Anh.
Ben didn't have enough money for new car.
Yeah, Ben didn't have enough money for a new car. So how can we fix? How can we rewrite this?
Ben couldn't afford to buy a car.
Yeah. So we need to add 2 there, right? Ben couldn't afford to buy a new car. It's just grammar. What did you put in here? Yeah, no, I'm asking, did anyone make any mistakes here? If yes, then what did you use?
Money to.
Ben couldn't afford money.
Money to buy a new car.
Oh, Ben couldn't afford money to buy a new car. We don't need to put money here because afford, we are talking about money here. Okay? Ben couldn't afford to buy a new car. Or we can say Ben couldn't afford a new car without to verb. Yeah? We can remove to buy. In this case, we can just say Ben couldn't afford a new car. But if you have a verb there, then you need to put to in between. Got it? Okay. Stop number 3.
Ben
Contacted.
contacted the owner for a car for sale after seeing an advert.
Mm-hmm.
Ben got in touch with the owner of the car for sale after seeing an advert.
Yes. Now, why do we need to fill in the blank with the word with? Why is that?
With the go together.
Yes. In touch with. Got in touch with. They go together. Underline that. That means, what does that mean? Got in touch with.
Contacted.
Yes. Got in touch with is similar to contacted. Okay? Easy. Number 4.
Ben drove the car and decided immediately like that he liked it.
Lighted.
He liked it. Ben decided he liked the car as soon as he drove it.
Yes, as soon as. The answer is as soon as, right?
Mm.
So Ben drove the car and decided immediately that he liked it, and Ben decided he liked the car as soon as he drove it. So as soon as, yes, they go together. We don't need to explain anything here. As soon as, okay? They go together because you see as. So in between you can put an adjective there, right? And as soon as is the same as what?
Decided immediately.
Wait, as soon as is similar to what? Immediately, yes. As soon as is similar to immediately.
I use much after.
You use what?
Much after.
Like the car as much after? No, we use as to make like kind of similar comparison. Okay? To say the oh yeah, and as soon as here in this case I mean immediately. So that means yeah they go together and it means immediately, and we need to put immediately there. So instead of saying as soon as, I can say Ben decided he liked the car immediately. Okay? No, but we cannot say immediately there, right? It doesn't make any sense. Okay? Ben decided he liked the car immediately, he drove it. No, right after. Okay? If we have to use another words, some other words, we have to say right after he drove it. Because here, decided, Ben drove the car and decided, he drove it first and then he decided immediately that he liked the car. So we should say like right after he drove it, or as soon as. Okay? You can underline as soon as here, and then it also means right after. As soon as means right after. Okay? Yeah? Alright, number 5.
The car was cheaper than Ben had expected.
Yes, the car was cheaper than Ben had expected.
The car was less expensive than Ben had expected.
Yeah, was less expensive. So was cheaper. The car was cheaper than. That means was less expensive, right? Cheaper means less expensive. So you can underline less expensive, and that means cheaper. Yeah, underline that and just write cheaper there. Yes?
Can I use was not expensive than?
No.
I use even.
You use even.
Even.
Was isn't. No. Totally wrong.
And then unless they don't have the word.
Yeah. If you want to use something with expensive, you can say was not as expensive as, but it's still not as good as less expensive than. You understand?
Yeah.
Of course, we have several ways, but this is kind of the best. And also, it suits with the sentence here, because here they just give you one blank, right? And you have to put in something, and here in this case, cheaper means less expensive. Easy. So we have more than, we have less than, right? To make comparison. And in this case, cheaper, so less expensive than. Just like that. Any questions? Anything you don't know? You don't understand? No? Okay, good. Writing parts 2 and 3, did I fix them all for you? Yes or no? Yes or no? No?
Yeah. We finished part 1, but part 2 and 3 we didn't do yet.
You didn't do that. Các bạn chưa làm xong luôn hả?
Yeah. We didn't do it and
Okay, let's do it now.